Tell you, you should be jealous back in that studio because we have a beautiful late summer afternoon for football here at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The dog pound in full roar as their Browns emerge from their tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Tennessee Titans. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Come on, set, 70, Indy.
Now a first-time 1,000-yard rusher from a season ago. It's Derrick Henry. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Well, if you look at this Week 1 matchup on paper and you see the Titans' name next to the Browns' name, you're thinking, there can't be much history there. But if you factor in that the Titans used to be the Houston Oilers, well, there is good history there because these two franchises were division rivals in the old AFC Central. That was before the 2002 NFL realignment. So there is history, albeit way back in the rearview mirror. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, Tannehill. Pass caught by A.J. Brown, and that's his first NFL catch. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across. Goes for 24 yards.
Here we go.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 47.
Yep. My 50. Let's go.
Derrick Henry. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now it's Henry. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. And he's got a man, Corey Davis. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. Got what they needed there. The drive continues with a 9-yard pickup. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Oh, you got deep?
Now it's Tannehill. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on his first drive. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Back to the ground now. It's Henry. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And finally taken down at the 15. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all this stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
And there's the first tackle of the game for Carl Joseph. He's one of those safeties that you can utilize in any way you want. But I will have to say, I think the number one thing he does best is tackle.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Rock it. Check. Walk. Get X3. 218, chop it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
Brings up 3rd down.
Set, ready? 18, Gator. Check, girls, check. Look at me. Go. 5.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And Henry fighting for the marker, but I don't think he got there. He did not. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of week 1. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it, because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield, mission accomplished, points on the board.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now the 3rd leading rusher among rookies last year, it's Nick Chubb. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Rashaan Evans out of Alabama had the tackle defensively.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch 54. Hey, watch the slant.
A run for Nick Chubb. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Point it right. 54, right there. 54, Mike. Hey, here we go. Watch the pass.
From the gun, Mayfield. Now Mayfield lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him, Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They finished off their opening drive of the campaign with a field goal on the last drive. Now they'll search for a touchdown here on this go-around. 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Tannehill uncorks one for Davis. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Tannehill. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Get ready.
3rd and long. It's Tannehill. He'll get this one complete to Davis. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
1st down, Tennessee.
Come on, set. 90 Wolf.
Throwing again is Tannehill. He's got it. The tight end, Allen. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. This is Henry. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on 3rd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
The Titans on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Kevin Johnson. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
There you are. Not today. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch.
Following the interception, Mayfield. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a 1st down.
1st down. 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
180. 54. Mike, 54. Oh, here we go.
A 1st down throw for Mayfield. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Here we go.
Here's Mayfield. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 29-yard line.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. On first down, they'll run with Chubb. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, 26 yards. And the Browns have taken the lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Here's Tannehill. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
I got you, son. I got you, son.
On the carry, it's Chubb. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
I got you, son. I got you. You're all mine. You're all mine, baby. You won't get this. You're all mine.
Mayfield now. Going deep here for Landry. And this is caught inside the 5. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Give him 32 on the play. Charles, you talk so much about quick change plays. There's one right there. You get the turnover, and boom, hit him with a big one.
And defenses plan for this all the time. They work on it in practice. But in the middle of the game, when that quick change takes place, oftentimes guys aren't as focused as they need to be.
Second and goal from the 1.
Watch 54. Check back. Kill.
They'll give it to Chubb. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Line of scrimmage at the 4. Here's 3rd and goal. Now Chubb. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Nick Chubb, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Tannehill. They'll get this to his tight end. It's Jonnu Smith. Now the Titans will use their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
51's the mic. 51's the mic. Nice, sweetheart.
From the gun, here's Tannehill. Looking here for Smith downfield. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
Incomplete. It's now 2nd and 10.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Go. Mike 51. Mike 51. We got it. Hey, Mike 51. Let's go.
Tannehill now to throw. Got him in. It's Brown. That's a first down pickup for Tennessee on a gain of 10.
It's a gain of 10. First down, Tennessee.
So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
That's fielded in the end zone.
We play to win.
So we are at halftime here in the opener of the 2019 regular season. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, we'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They have the lead now. They'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done, they're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
26-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Yo, 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 yo. Yo!
Throwing, Mayfield. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, you can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Mayfield on first down. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 23 yards, the final tally.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Good. 180. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Let's get the ball. Check. Pistol, pistol, pistol. Kings, Kings, Kings. Hey, Delta.
To throw, Mayfield. It's caught by OBJ. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, 39 yards. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Titans take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Again, it's Henry. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage will be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Tannehill. He gets it to Humphries. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. Here's Brett Kern now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And this is away, and I don't think Landry will get a chance to return here. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Browns drive about to get started. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give them a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run.
They run it again with Chubb. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Mike, 180. Hey, only 33. Hey, Charlie. 54. Mike, 54. Mike,
3rd and short yardage, Mayfield. And this is going to be incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
.46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. .51 yards on the punt there. And it'll be Titan football.
Titans take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 47. Now Tannehill. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 33.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
Here's Nick Chubb as they try to fire up this run game. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
It's a loss of 2. Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 31-yard line.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
In your face. Quick dash.
And again, it's Chubb. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. The Browns on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 17.
Alert!
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Browns on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Well, going deep here for Taylor. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
First and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw is Tannehill. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. You better be a
Here's Tannehill. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Here's Tannehill. The open man is Smith. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
First down, Titans.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. To the air again, Tannehill. It's caught. Humphreys. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that's 6.
2nd and 6 at the 44-yard line.
Henry out of the pistol, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. It's rare that a man his size can't at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You're talking about the little guy back
Tiny.
there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
The Titans get 14 yards there and move the chains as well. Tannehill now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now Tannehill. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So that one a hold, right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
65. Go.
A shotgun snap for Tannehill. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 22. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it, Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That burst good for 20 and a first down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Whistles now in a timeout defensively. So a wise move as they'll use the first of their timeouts to force one more play before the 2-minute warning. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. On the ground, it's Chubb. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 3rd and goal here as they try to finish off their victory. Chubb. Oh, Chubb fumbled it. It's picked up by the Titans. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that's one of those mistakes. That's a fumble that when they get to the sidelines, I know you're mad, Coach, but look, we still got this locked down. But that's not necessarily true, is it?
No, their hopes are slim, but you just hate to give them any hope. You could have sealed it right there.
Yeah, could have finished them off and taken away all hope, as we like to say.
Following the fumble recovery, Tannehill. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Hooked up by Greedy Williams, the rookie from LSU. Now Tennessee going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And barring mistakes, they should be able to kneel this one out and finish it off. And there's only one timeout remaining on the defensive side of the ball, so that doesn't really come into play either. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Now the Titans will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And we'll see if the defense wants to stop it as they take the knee.
A loss of a yard. It's now 3rd and 13.
Mike, 180, 55. So don't say nothing.
And they'll take a knee as the clock runs under a minute to play. Here's Jamie Gillen now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Here's Jackson to return. A 7-yard return following a punt of 45 yards. And the Titans will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game. In this sequence here, maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here.